You can tell. You can tell that I'm. You can tell that. You can tell that I'm a lame duck because nobody's following instructions. Everybody have a seat. My fellow Americans.
He's starting the speech at 8:04 p.m.
Michelle and I have been so touched by all the well wishes that we've received over the past few weeks. But tonight it's my turn to say thanks. Whether we have seen eye to eye or rarely agreed at all, my conversations with you, the American people, in living rooms and in schools, at farms, on factory floors, at diners, and on distant military outposts. Those conversations are what have kept me honest and kept me inspired.
So anyway, I just want to document something. You saw how his speech, he stalled until it was 8:04 to begin the speech. And I had a feeling he was going to do that. Let me show you something very interesting real quick here. But I want to show you something about why he started at 8:04 a.m. specifically, or p.m., excuse me. Central Time, where he is in Chicago. So the name Obama sums to 84 in Gematria. Obama equals 84. And if you don't know Barack Obama's birthday, it's August 4th, 1961. Obama's birthday. This should pull it up right here. August 4th, 1961. 8/4, as we write it in the United States, a lot like 84. And he just began his speech at 8:04. He stalled from 8:02 to 8:04 to begin his speech. Here's what else you need to know about 84. Very relevant to this nation, the United States of America. United States of America in Gematria sums to 84. If you've ever read the fiction novel 1984, written after World War II, it's about a futuristic nation always at war, rules over its people with lies and cameras and propaganda. It's very much about the nation we live in now in the United States of America. 84, very special number to the history of this nation, coded into Obama, the president. Who's replacing him is Donald Trump, who is a Jesuit. Donald Trump went to Fordham University. He began his Fordham Jesuit training in 1964, 52 years before ascending to the White House, being elected in 2016, 52 years after he began his Jesuit training. 52, a relevant number to government. And what we're talking about here is the language of Gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words, which is ancient. And when you're aware of this language, you see how the rituals around us are so often done by the numbers. I knew that Obama was going to begin his speech at 8:04 after I saw how he began to stall at 8:02. And here, I want to show you something else. Just before I turned on the video, I was capturing what time he came out at. He came out on the stage. He began his walk at 8:01. He's in Chicago. And here, I want you to know this about Chicago in Gematria. Got to make sure you spell right. Chicago in Jewish Gematria is 81. Obama in Chicago, coming out at 8:01. Show you something else. He got up and said his first words at 8:02 into the mic when he began his stalling process. The name Barack Hussein Obama sums to 64, just like civil rights. The Civil Rights Act happened in 64. Obama elected the 44th president 44 years after 64. November 4th, 2008, gave his acceptance speech in Grant Park, also Chicago. But here's what you need to know. The name Barack Hussein Obama has two S's in it. Just two S's. Do you see that? The way this works, let me show this to you so you can see how this is working. The name Barack Hussein Obama, the way it sums to 64 is by making each letter in the English alphabet a single digit letter and then adding the word together. B's the second letter, so B is worth 2. A is the first letter, A is worth 1. R is the 18th letter using the alphabet. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, R is 18. Instead of adding 18, you add 1 plus 8 equals 9. So R is worth 9. Then A, 1, C, 3. K is the 11th letter. 1 plus 1 becomes 2. S is the 19th letter. 19th. 1 plus 9 becomes 10. 1 plus 0 becomes 1. You have to add S together 2 times to get it to a single digit. S is the only letter of the 26 letters in the alphabet that's that way. S can be worth 10 or 1. So when you make Barack Hussein Obama in this Gematria format, making S worth 10, his name equals 82. He got up in front of the mic, the podium at 8:02 after doing his walk starting at 8:01, says his first words at 8:02, stalls out until 8:04, and begins his speech. And if you go back over the years, you'll see how often speeches have been crafted this way. It happens again and again. At the Republican and Democratic conventions, full of examples like this. The reason this is going on is because there is a gang known as Freemasonry, and not your Freemason uncle, father, brother down at the local lodge. I'm talking about the people who are Freemasons in high places that abide by this esoteric knowledge, and this is how they operate on a daily basis. You know? So there's more I could tell you, but that's a lot right there, especially if you're new. Show you this. Coming out at 8:01, getting up to the podium at 8:02. Says his first word, trying to get people under control because it's loud. He's talking about how, because he's going out, it's just like being a teacher at the end of the school year. The students aren't listening. They know it's the last day. The reign on authority is almost over. So anyhow, it's just amazing to witness it in real time when you're aware of the knowledge. Also, they're saying, CNN just said this is going to be his final speech to the nation. That's what they're saying. I don't get that because it's January 10th. His last day in office is January 20th. But today, 1/10, the word president equals 110 in Gematria. Final speech to the nation. Go through your history of presidents and see how many have 110 birth numerology, name Gematria of 110. Ronald Reagan equals 110. That was a recent one. The name Osama bin Laden equals 110. The World Trade Centers were 110 stories tall. The name Rockefeller equals 110. It was the Rockefeller family that had those buildings constructed. So interesting, the final speech on January 10th. Dylan Stormroof supposedly sentenced to death today. People are telling me that. The shooting was at 110 Calhoun Street. Today's January 10th. And it was at 7:47 that Anderson Cooper came on and said the president will be out any moment. Still about 14 minutes out. But the word president's 47, the word Masonic 74. PM, like prime minister, those initials break down to 7 and 4. P's the 16th letter, 1 plus 6, 7. M the 13th, 1 plus 3, 4. So anyway, I'll link this down in the description if you want to read CNN's article on his final speech tonight. I noticed for the top headline, Obama says goodbye, they coded 61. His birth year, born in 61 on August 4th. Word news is 61. The word God in Jewish Gematria is 61. 61, the year JFK was elected. So that's it for now, Truth Seeker. Until next time. Encore. I should mention that Obama was the 44th president in the history books, and when you add the divisors, the numbers that divide into 44, when you add them together, they sum to 84. The divisors of 44 sum to 84. Obama, the 44th president with the 84 name, the 8-4 birthday, August 4th. And also today giving his final speech beginning at 8:04 p.m. Central Time, where he is in Chicago. Even though Obama's the 44th president, he's really only the 43rd person to be president. That's because Grover Cleveland counted as the 22nd and 24th president. He had a split term. So the 25th president was the 24th person all the way up to the present. And what's so interesting about that is Obama gave his acceptance speech in Grant Park, which equals 43. He was the 43rd person to be president from the land of Lincoln. Obama with the Lincoln parallels. Lincoln was born on February 12th, which is the 43rd day of the year. 31 days in January plus 12 in February, the 43rd day. Lincoln oversaw the Civil War, and the Civil War began in Charleston. Think about during how the time of Obama's presidency, the mainstream media has started hyping up all of these racially divisive stories. You know, the Civil War having a lot to do with race. Obama, the first black president in U.S. history, in the time of his presidency, the media began pushing news that focused on race. None of this is by accident. It's because we're living out an agenda. We're being lied to. We're being mocked. We're being terrorized. We're being mistreated. There's a lot of things in this world that we could stop if we woke up and said, okay, we're not going to put up with this anymore. Enough is enough. So Obama, 43rd president, the date he gave his acceptance speech in Grant Park was November 4th, 2008, which is a date with 43 numerology. 11 plus 4 is 15, plus 20, 35, plus 8, 43. Numerology matches the date, matches the number of count for men who are president. Obama was the 43rd. Trump will be the 44th person. And remember, at the beginning of the Trump administration, there was the whole birther argument, birther 44. Obama ran on hope. Using the alphabetic order, hope is 44. So fitting, right? And you know, get this. Make America Great Again, Donald Trump's slogan. That is the same as the Gematria Barack Hussein Obama using the alphabetic order. You think that's a coincidence? 163 is the 38th prime number. Show you this. The 38th prime. And remember, Obama also ran on change. Hope and change he ran on. Look at what kind of change they've done to us. They gave all these people false hope in 2008 with Obama. And now 8 years later, it's like they've done a full 360. Maybe even taken a few steps back with Donald Trump. This is what I mean when I say the people who are governing over us, the people who make our media, our news, run our government, who use this language of Gematria, they're mocking us by the numbers. That's why Obama's given his goodbye speech today, coming out at 8:04. So there's a million other things. If you're new here, subscribe to my channel, go through my videos. I have nearly 2,000 videos. And if you ranked all 2,000 of them, this might be one of the worst ones I ever made. Until next time.